Thank you for tuning in to Everything Valves, the channel dedicated to bringing you everything valves. Thank you for everyone supporting this channel. If you enjoyed today's video, please like and subscribe for more valve videos. In today's video, we will be performing an API 6A PSL1 hydro test on a 3 1/16 inch 10,000 PSI gate valve. This video will show you the basic steps to performing a PSL1 test on a gate valve. For this test, we decided to use blind flanges. We are going to do the shell test first, so we will put blind flanges on both flanges. We use a rubber gasket in between the flanges so we do not damage the valve's ring joint connection. Once the flange is on, we torque them down. Now that the flanges are connected, we will connect our testing hose and begin to open the valve halfway. We open the valve halfway so the entire cavity of the valve can fill with water. We will begin to fill the cavity with water. As you can see, we are filling the cavity now. You can only fill it so much before you have to close the valve and let the full cavity fill completely with water. Once the valve is full, we will begin to slowly bring the pressure up. The working pressure for this valve is 10,000 PSI. So the shell test we will perform on this valve is 15,000 PSI. The duration for this shell test will be 3 minutes. However, we will have to perform an additional test to meet the PSL1 requirements, which will be an additional 3-minute test at 15,000 PSI. Once the pressure has been met, we will isolate the valve and perform our inspection. On the shell test, you want to make sure there's no leakage at the bonnet or any stem packing. After the 3-minute holding time, you can bleed off the pressure. To verify all pressure inside the cavity has been bled off, we will open our bleeder on the flange. Now we will repeat this shell test for the additional test that is required by PSL1. Now we will perform our seat A test number 1. So now we will close the valve completely. The working pressure for this valve again is 10,000 PSI. So the seat test will be at 10,000 PSI. Each seat will have 2 tests performed. So seat A will have test number 1, and after test number 1, you will perform test number 2. Bring our pressure up to 10,000 PSI. Once we have reached the pressure, and inspect the valve for any leaks. Since we have flanges on, our indicators for leakage will be the pressure gauge and any leakage through the valve. We initially thought this valve may be leaking due to the drippage from this bleeder valve, but it was only excess water inside of the flange. Once the 3 minutes is expired, you will open the valve under full pressure. As you can see, we open the valve under full pressure. Now the pressure is bleeding out. After seat A test number 1 has been complete, you will repeat this seat test on seat A, as it is required by PSL1 to have each seat be tested 2 times. Once seat A has passed both tests, you will perform the same tests on seat B. After the valve has passed all of the tests, we will remove all the blind flanges from the valve. Drift test. To perform the drift test, you want to make sure the valve is fully opened. You'll take your drift or mandrel and pass it through the entire valve's bore to verify that the valve is in fact full opening. Once the drift or mandrel has been passed through, the valve has passed the mandrel test. Re-greasing the valve. After testing, we must re-grease the valve, so we will connect our grease pump to the grease fitting on the valve and begin to inject grease while slightly opening and closing the valve.
Okay, yeah.
As you can see, the grease is beginning to come through. Now that the greasing has been done, we are going to put the flange protectors on and put it back into the crate. To recap the PSL1 hydro test performed on this gate valve, the working pressure of the valve is 10,000 psi, so the body or shell test was performed at 15,000 psi. The seat tests were performed at 10,000 psi. The holding times and number of tests required. For the body, you must perform 2 tests at 3 minutes each. Each seat must have 2 tests at 3 minutes each as well. These are the requirements specified in API 6A for PSL1 testing. I hope this video was helpful in giving you an understanding of the PSL1 valve testing requirements. If you have any questions about today's video, please comment down below. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe for more valve videos. Thank you for watching Everything Valves, and we'll see you in the next video.